Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is the storm before the calm. There's a reason we chose that title. There's a lot of information out there. Some people would refer to it as noise and distractions. Others would go, it's data that needs to be looked at. And the other question becomes, as we're having discussion with clients, is that what impacts my portfolio and what doesn't impact my portfolio? That's a big topic as we've continued to move forward this year.
Right.
Now, Trey, you brought up some really good factors in terms of just good news. So if there's a storm out there, what's the good news?
I think we're definitely in the middle of the storm. If our clients are probably tracking the markets, it's definitely been a big pullback. Everyone's focusing on the now, but if you kind of pull away and look at 30,000 foot, we've got a lot of great news coming out of our economy right now. The NFIB Small Business Optimism Index in May hit its highest level since 1983 and the second highest level on record. Bonuses as a percent of total compensation for all civilian workers hit an all-time record high of 2.4%. That's great because companies typically pay bonuses because they're doing well. It's incentivized.
Sure.
They don't pay out a bonus if earnings are falling off the cliff.
People aren't getting results.
That's exactly right. Companies have repatriated $296 billion so far in the first quarter. That sounds like a big number, but it's actually only 17.6% of the overseas cash. So we see these mergers starting to happen. That cash coming back, that's going into bonuses. That's going to buy back stocks. That lifts stock prices, goes into mergers, lifts stock prices. Very good news. There's a large percentage of cash that's coming the rest of the year. The most recent job openings data is there's more job openings than available workers. Unbelievable in the U.S. economy. That's got to push wages up, which we're seeing. Bonuses and wages.
Sure.
Some interesting stuff. Despite the barrage of negative news, 38% of Americans say they are satisfied with the way things are going in the U.S. 38% sounds low, but it's actually the highest level since 2005. So maybe we're overly concerned often. But that's fantastic news. And then one of the things we're watching later in the year is the midterm elections. There's a lot of focus on that. But it turns out most people kind of ignore the midterm elections. Only 38% of registered voters vote in the midterm elections compared to 57% when a president's on the ballot. So it's going to be all about which side is passionate, which is probably why each respective side is trying to drum up their base with all these doom and gloom stories. Trying to get that passion out. But so it all seems to be, if you pull back the curtain and kind of look, we're extremely positive news.
Right, and the headlines at times cause the volatility in the market.
That's right. You got to focus on the now. That's for
exactly
sure.
right. And on those headline news, from a standpoint, Ashley, that are out there, you talked about tariffs and the battle between the United States and China. And really, at the end of the day, what's the impact? So we can have those kind of debates and discussions and news out there, but this good news at some point has to come to the forefront. Now talk about that briefly.
The good news is that despite all of this noise, including seeing today,
in terms of China and
US
tariffs,
it's going to be negligible. It's going to be negligible both for our economy and theirs. When you get right down to it, it's just been a political ploy paying to the bases. If you look at the first round, for example, we're protecting some very old line industries in steel and aluminum. That plays well politically. China responds, hitting our agriculture. That plays well to them politically. You're getting a little broader in it in the technology, and that's today. The only thing where you may see a little bit of impact later in the summer is that we're not even here yet, but if it gets into the consumer goods wave, you might get a little price increase here or there. But if you get steel prices going up and soybeans going down, it all sort of nets out in the wash, and it's just not large enough in the financials that we were talking about this morning to really be meaningful. It's a lot of noise, but the data doesn't support it.
Open debate, open negotiations, and nobody fully understands the results.
That's right.
So on that note, please know that we think there's a lot of positive things going on in the economy. We think a lot of issues will resolve themselves. And as we move forward throughout the summer, we had a vlog not long ago that said it's not going to be a dull summer. That's turning out to be true. We're going to continue to keep you updated. We appreciate your time and communication with us, and we hope that you share this vlog with others. Have a great week as we're heading towards the July month and 4th of July. and we're going to keep you updated. Thanks.